Hi, sweeties. I think Munchie is a snake broker. I think she goes to a market, buys them wholesale or something, and then just puts them in a farm, a little farm, and then they grow, and then she brings a new one in the house every day. It's very quite sweet of her, but that was the fastest snake I ever saw. Um, it was just, but you know how I got it? I went to one side of the counter where it was, and when it saw me, it went the other way. Then I dumped out the trash can that holds the paper, and I put it on its side, and the snake saw it, and it went right into it because it's black, and it was a dark place away from. And Munchie was just laying on the floor saying, "My work is done." So that made it a little easier. So now it's outside, and Munchie's inside. We will resume the book. Amos playing chess with his friend. He would play chess with the elephant who thought and thought before making a move. Run races with the tortoise who never lost. He's a nice guy. Tortoises always lose, except I think this little Mr. Amos is being very nice. And look at the little mice and the little bird. The mouse and the bird are cheering. He would sit quietly with the penguin. Lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros, who always had a runny nose. And at sunset read stories to the owl, who was very afraid of the dark. One day Amos awoke with the sniffles and the sneezes and the chills. He swung his achy legs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." You know what that feels like. Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his pawns and polished his castles. The tortoise stretched his legs and limbered up. The penguin sat patiently all by himself. The rhinoceros, worried that his allergies, can't read it, were worsening. The owl perched atop a tall stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. Look at all those storybooks. That's like this house. Later that day, all lined up waiting for the bus. Elephant, rhinoceros, tortoise, owl, penguin, balloon. Where's the bird and the mouse? I'll bet you they're nearby. They got on the number 5 bus. There's a 5. That's a pretty 5. There's the bus driver. Look at how they all fit on that number 5 bus. Hooray, my good friends are here. Look how happy he is. The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought before making a move. I'm too tired to run races today, Amos said to the tortoise. Let's play hide and seek instead. The tortoise hid inside his shell. Amos hid beneath the covers. That Amos is a special guy, thinking of playing hide and seek with the tortoise. He makes this tortoise feel good all the time. He lets him win races. He picks a game that he's especially good at. Amos yawned. I could use a nap. The penguin sat quietly, keeping Amos's feet warm. Oh, I love this book. Achoo! Amos awoke with a sneeze. The rhinoceros was ready with a handkerchief. Look at the penguin covered his eyes. I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you, said Amos to his friends. He swung his legs out of bed. Perhaps we'll share a pot of tea. The owl is pouring. The tortoise is bringing the tea and the sugar and the cream over to the table. And at the table is the elephant and the rhinoceros and the penguin and Amos and his little feet that look like rabbit slippers. And there's the mouse. Oh, and there's the bird. Look at that, right on top of the rhinoceros's ear. Amos wound his alarm clock. It's getting late, he said. After all, we have a morning bus to catch. So Amos said good night to the elephant, and good night to the tortoise, and good night to the penguin, and good night to the rhinoceros, and good night to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read a story aloud before turning out the light. Those are good friends. And look at his teddy bear over there on the floor. Doesn't need his teddy bear tonight. He's got all of his friends right there in the bed with him or near it. There they are. Hey, what happened here? I have to keep the cursor moving or it just goes black. Oh, that's the last page. That's a good book. Okay, I'm going to read you another poem from this crazy book. Let's see if we can find one better than the one about the large. Ha 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 ha! I found a good one. I hope it's better than the one about the large dog that doesn't do anything but eat and sleep. But this one, it's called The Mouse in the Wainscot. I'm not sure what wainscot is, but guess what the first line of the poem is? You won't believe me. Hush, Suzanne, don't lift your cup. That breath you heard is a mouse getting up. As the mist that steams from your milk as you sup, so soft is the sound of a mouse getting up. There, did you hear his feet pitter-patter? Lighter than tipping of beads in a platter? And then like a shower on the window pane, the little feet scampering back again. Oh, falling a feather, oh, drift of leaf, the mouse in the wainscot is dropping asleep. I'm going to look up what wainscot is, because in this picture it's in a leaf, I think. Okay, I hope you guys feel a lot better very soon. I love you to bits, and more books soon. Okay, bye-bye.